things travel in China, let's bring in Larry Yu. He's the professor of hospitality management at George Washington University. Thanks so much for joining us. Larry, how is China's reopening going so far, and how are Chinese travelers reacting?
But first of all, thank you so much, Mike, for the invitation. Well, it has been pretty well so far in the last day or two. And the Chinese people are really happy with the border reopening and the removal of the quarantine requirement. So there have been many social media postings I've been following these 2 days. Two particular events really jumping out. The crossing of people between Hong Kong and the mainland for family reunion after almost 3 years. And then the first scheduled flight returning to Thailand. This seemed to be a big event. The 269 passengers met with VIP treatment, welcome by 3 cabinet ministers at the airport with flowers and gifts. And so this is just amazing. And so the Chinese people really took it as a very encouraging excitement and enthusiasm. And then there are also a lot of talks on their plans for overseas travel in the coming month.
Yeah, it's really kind of heartwarming, the stories you just shared, and it's got to be exciting. These families kind of sealed off from one another for a few years now, getting back together. Well, let's talk about what the shift means, though, for the country's travel sector. You know, tourism obviously has taken a hit, one would think. So what does it mean for that and the overall economy, do you think?
This is also great news for the tourism industry, especially for both inbound and outbound markets. I believe they will gradually to open up, and with the reopening of the border, it is really good for the different sectors of the tourism industry. Earlier, we heard the OTAs, the travel agencies, are all ready to launch their tours for international, both inbound and outbound travelers, because they basically, were hit so hard during the pandemic. And then hotels and airlines, will all take advantage of those opportunities and to increase their sales and to get their business back to normal. So it's a good news all across the board for the tourism industry.
Larry, I've got a good friend who does a lot of business in China, a consultant there, and of course hasn't for the last few years, and he's just been chomping at the bit and really frustrated he couldn't get over there. And I know there are a lot of travelers who fall into the international business column, feel much the same way. So how soon might we see the return of international business travel, do you think?
I think international business travel will return gradually. As we know, face-to-face meeting and a contact is such an important aspect of Chinese culture. We like to meet and we like to have social activities. So business colleagues will be delighted to reconnect professionally and socially. However, to me, the return of the business travel demand will be a lag behind the leisure travel. Due to the advantage of the technology and also corporate travel policy coming out of COVID. Some of the business meetings may be handled by video conferencing and the things of this nature. But business travel will come back slowly, and because of the professional, social, and culture aspects of doing business in China.
Larry, I love how you say social activities, which I think is code for the consumption of adult beverages. At least that was my experience over there. How soon do you think China will be open to tourism again?
I think it also will gradually. to open its door to inbound tourism. And so I think the country is just still monitoring and testing the current reopening at the scale they think they can manage. I think it will gradually, the doors will be open wider for the international visitors to come over to visit. And this is really a big part of the revenues for the tourism businesses in this country because of the high spending and because of many of the upscale luxury hotels in the country. And so I think it will come back slowly, probably as early as in the spring, summer, fall, but definitely it will recover nicely by the end of the year.
Larry, always great to talk to you. Thank you so much for your insights.